welcome everybody. I'm Brent Hoskins, and I'm the Executive Director of the association, and we're glad you're here. We recognize that we work for you as the staff of BTA. This is your association, and as it was mentioned prior to the beginning of the call, we do these calls because we recognize that not every member knows all about BTA and what it has to offer. And that's true of people who are new to the association, or frankly, people who've been members of the association for many years. What we've kind of observed is that people learn and see BTA in a certain way, as far as the benefits. It may be going to some of our district events, it may be our webinars, it may be our Building My Business discussion groups, legal services, on and on, but they may kind of zero in on 2 or 3 member benefits and not always recognize all that we have to offer. So a couple of years ago, we started hosting these events. There's these calls like this we call BTA 101. So it's kind of the basics of BTA. We'll keep you only 30 minutes. If you do have questions along the way, just let us know. This is informal. We want to hear from you. If you've got something you need more explanation on or something you wanted to ask about, we'd be glad to have you chime in and let us address that. Some of you may be aware that the staff of BTA is actually relatively small. There are 5 of us. And collectively, though, we've had more than 90 years of experience in the industry. And I say that to say that, we know a lot of people in the industry. We are often kind of connecting dealers with vendors and dealers with dealers. And if there's ever a way that you think that we could help you, or some sort of question that you'd like to ask of the association, you think that maybe we either know or we could find the answer, we'd be glad to help. We get requests like that all the time, and that's just, we're here to help you in any way that we can. Brian Smith is probably the person that you know the best, as far as most visible to the dealer community, because he is the person who spends his days talking to dealers about membership in the association, and then just connecting with current members throughout the year to kind of check in and see if either any questions or kind of remind them of upcoming events or whatever. So Brian's going to be the one walking you through the website in a moment. The other staff members are Valerie Briseno, who's the Director of Marketing for BTA, Elizabeth Marvel, who's the Associate Editor for Office Technology, also does lots on the website and many other things. Keep her busy. We keep Valerie very busy. Valerie oversees a select dealer group and has a lot to do with the vendor relations, vendor membership sales, the BTA district events. And then that 5th employee is Brooke Barker, who serves as the administrative assistant to the association, helps in many ways, help us operate more efficiently, I would say. So I'm going to let Brian begin kind of chatting here, but I'm going to interrupt him maybe a couple of times along the way, a few things to kind of give him a break and share some of my insight on a couple of items along the way. So Brian, I'll turn it over to you.
Thanks, Brent. Welcome, everybody. Appreciate you taking some time to spend with us today. I'm on the BTA homepage here, and the first thing we like everybody to do is to create a login. And it's pretty simple. You just come up here to log in, and the screen will open up. And if you don't have one already, you just click on create one right there. It'll take you to this page, put your name, then your email, and hit submit. And I am currently already logged in as Adam Gregory. So when you log in, it's going to take you to what we call the info hub. And as you can see up here, this will tell you that you are logged in as yourself, and I'm logged in as Adam Gregory. So no matter when you do this, when you log in, you're automatically taken here. Simplest way to get back to the BTA homepage is come down here and just click on BTA homepage. It opens up in a separate window that way. The couple things I like to point out here is my info. This is where you can go to make sure all your information is correct. So you can come here, fill all that out. There's some related contacts here that the rest of the people in the company are sub accounts. You can find them here. And then once you sign in, and only when you sign in, you'll have this member directory tab right here. And it's a great way to just go ahead and try to find some people that you're interested in. So you can customize this to brands carried. So if come in here and let's just see if we've got some Kyocera dealers as BTA members, you click done, and then they'll all pop up that way. So all of these individuals carry Kyocera. And if you click on one of the links, it'll give you the information of that individual, where they're at, and you can contact them if you like. So you can search by many ways through the query here. So number of locations, if you're looking for products or whatever in a certain city, you know the guy's name, you can use that. So the member search is a great function to take advantage of. And then when you're done with that, you just come down here and you click on the home page, and that takes you to the BTA homepage. The initial, all BTA memberships, if you click on this membership, this benefit tab button, that takes you to all the page with all the BTA member benefits right there. And each one is a link, but underneath the member benefits, if you come up here, there's a drop-down menu. So each one of these is actually located right there on the member benefits page. So that's an easy way to access it, and I'll spend more time on that here in a minute. The BTA, the About Us button, just kind of gives you some information about BTA and our past. Let me click on the right button there for you. So it gives you just information, history, photo archives, testimonials. So there's a lot of good information there. And then also the board of directors and the BTA headquarters staff is also available. And I show you this because this is a great way to network with fellow dealers. Here's Adam Gregory, who I'm logged in as. He is the BTA president. His term will last until June 30th of this year. And then Deborah Dennis will become the president in 2025-26 season. So there's Deborah, there's Boyle. So there's just a bunch of individuals here that are dealers just like yourself. And you can ask me all the questions you want. A lot of times I'm not necessarily as bright as these people, and they run dealerships just like you. So they would be a great source there. And there's Greg Goldberg, and I'll touch base with him. And here's the BTA headquarters staff. There's Brent. He mentioned Valerie, Elizabeth, yours truly, and then there's Brooke Barker there. Once again, if you need to get a hold of us, there's a phone number and an email address that you can contact us and get a hold of us. And BTA has 4 districts. And so they're set up in each district. So you got the West, the Mid-America, the Southeast, and the East. And each one of these districts has their own individual officers. So if you're out West and you need to talk to your district officer team, there you have it. And just contact those people there. Their contact information. So same thing with the Southeast. You got the president, you got the president-elect, and then some other officers there. So take advantage of that. It's an easy way to network with individuals. You may know some of them, so it'd be an easy transition to contact them. Let's see here. So I'll just kind of start here, and I'll try to touch on the big ones, the big benefits that we have here at BTA. This call is being recorded, and this is where it will be posted once it's finished. And we'll post it here. This was the call last January. So that's where the 101 call, if you, for some reason, wanted to see what we went through, you can find this call here. Then we've got vendor members. You can click that, and this is just a link that shows you all the vendors that are a part of BTA or support the dealer channel. All these links open up into a new window, either at the vendor's homepage or a BTA site. So you've got the vendors there. And then we've got 2 peer groups that Brent touched on briefly. There's the Pro Dealer Group, which is the younger of the 2 peer groups, and Brent is the facilitator there. So his information will be down here. Contact Brent right here. And there's also a Select Dealer Group. And the idea of these pro dealer groups is they're protected territories. So these individual companies have joined this peer group, and all these individuals would have right of first refusal if somebody else wanted to join the group within their area. So they're protected. So you're free to exchange financials that nobody sees. They block out the financials on there, but it's aggregated and gives you a picture of what the group looks like and what good looks like. So you've got the pro dealer group here, and you've also got the select dealer group, and Valerie is the individual that takes care of that. And you can contact right down here, but they've got a territorial page as well. And so it's the same concept. You can discuss best practices, exchange financials, that type of thing. And these groups are over and above your BTA membership. So there's a 1 year additional dues for the peer groups as well. Brent, would you want to talk a little bit about it? Or
the one that's fresh in my mind, or what I've got in my mind these days, and Brian said I'm the liaison for the pro dealer group. This group going to be meeting the week after next in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. They have meet every 3 times a year, and then of course they stay in contact in between. But this group's been around since 2012. Select Dealer Group's been around many more years than that. And really, Pro Dealer Group resulted from the fact that a lot of dealers couldn't get into Select Dealer Group because of the geographic restrictions. But Brian mentioned that they work with, they do a financial survey, and it helps them see how they are doing as compared to the benchmarks and metrics as taught in Pro Finance by Todd Johnson and John Hay, who help facilitate those meetings from time to time. But I guess the one point to be made here is it's been amazing to watch how these folks who come into these groups don't necessarily know one another when they join. And within pretty short order, they're fast friends and helping one another, calling on one another, visiting one another's dealerships. And it's a pretty close-knit group. I know that's for sure the case with Select Dealer Group as well. But if it is a fit for you, or if it's something that's of interest to you, let me know, and I can give you more information. I think the Select Dealer Group would do this as well, but the Pro Dealer Group, if you wanted to attend a meeting to see if it's a good fit for you, they do allow guests to attend for one meeting as a non-member. So something to think about. But we're proud of these groups and feel really good about what they contribute to the dealers who are members of the groups, and I know they would say the same. So thank you, Brian.
okay. Any questions?
Yeah, this is Mark Lewis. Is there really a difference between the two groups? I mean, I'm hearing there's not really a difference.
So there's not a whole lot of difference. Mainly, like I said, it's because I had a list of probably 10 or 12 dealers back in about 2012 who were wanting in the Select Dealer Group and had been told no because they were wanting a territory somebody else had. So we said, well, let's just start another group.
I see.
So that's what we've done. They're very similar in nature.
Yeah.
Select Dealer Group has about 38 or 39 member dealerships. Pro Dealer Group currently has about 32. And I think the format of their meetings is similar, but they do some things a little bit differently, I believe. But if you were interested, Mark, in either one of these groups, we could talk offline, but we could give you more of insight into it, and certainly introduce you to some of the leadership of either of the groups, and you could kind of pick their brain and see if one of those might be a good fit.
Well, we're already part of the Pro Dealer Group, right? I'm from Dove, so we're already part of Pro. Yeah.
So well, there you go.
But I was just wondering what the other one, and I was at the meeting. I was at the meeting back in last. San Antonio.
Very good, very good, Mark. Forgive me for that. I'm just seeing your name on this.
That's okay.
About the dealership name, but Roger's the owner of Dove, and very glad that he's working as well.
Now,
so,
one more
thing.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
One other quick question was, you talked about exchanging, and I'm the finance person for Dove, so I'm always interested in financial stuff and exchanging financial information. You mentioned that one of the things that these groups do is exchange on obviously an anonymous basis, benchmark financials, and do the groups share? Is it one set of data across both groups, or does Pro Dealer Group only do Pro Dealer Group?
That's a good question, and the way it works is each year, and if you're not already doing this, you probably are filling out the financial survey for.
Yep, got the email. Yep, we're working on that.
So you end up like we're saying in the pro dealer group, you end up with, here's me compared to the aggregate of everybody else in the group.
Right.
So nobody's seeing each other. The only people that see it is frankly,
Right.
strategic business associates, because they're compiling the data. But what is nice about it, Mark, and I think you mentioned this, is they work with Select Dealer Group, they work with Pro Dealer Group, that is Strategic Business Associates. They also work with BPCA and CDA, two other peer groups that are not necessarily under the BTA umbrella. They're not administered by BTA, but they are, many of their members of BPCA and CDA are also members of BTA. So what you end up with is you see with, here's how Dove compares to the others in Pro Dealer Group, but here's how it compares to, and this is the term they use, the universe of dealers.
The broader population, yeah.
Four of the groups, and it's billions and billions of dollars of business when you add these dealerships up. It's amazing how big. Now, maybe I just exaggerated saying billions and billions, but it's a lot. And I'm always
many millions, if not
many millions. And so that's that, it's, and they will zero in when they do the financial report in the meeting on where the group might have some weaknesses and where strengths, and they're very careful to keep everything and held it in confidence unless it wants to chime in and share themselves, So thank you for the
that
question.
helps a lot, because I hear these terms I forget, Strategic Business Group
Associates.
Associates. I hear all these different acronyms and terms, and I still haven't been able to put them all together yet. So that helps.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you, Mark, for the question.
And
Brian?
here's the two dealers, or the two course instructors that do the evaluation with those financials. So it's John Hay and Todd Johnson.
Yep.
And they actually teach the Pro Finance Workshop, which is one of our best. And I'll just continue right here on the education side of it. It's one of the better physical workshops that BTA provides, and it's for the C-level, the owner, the CFO, the CEO, that type of individual. And there's 3 classes coming up in Cincinnati, Ohio, St. Louis, Missouri, and then Kent, Washington later in the year. So, and then with your BTA membership, you get discounted promo codes or discount codes that you can use towards the price of this workshop. Or if you've been there, you get a 50% discount on returning to the workshop. So Pro Finance is one of the better ones that we've got there. And if you click on the education, it'll show you all the education classes that we have. We've got some physical workshops with the VCIO University. Then we've got webinars. We do the Building My Business once a month. We do a Diversifying My Business. It kind of gives the vendors a chance to get in front of the dealership membership as a whole. There's free sales training, there's certificates. So the education page right here has a lot of good information, and most of these, if not all of these, are free to attend the webinars. The 2 classes here, well, I guess we've got the on-demand cost. There's a service. The webinar series are free, but these service classes are, you get the discount codes that you can provide to those as well. So good education there. And along the education would be the BTA events that we have. They're great networking opportunities. We're going to have 2 this year. One is going to be in Orlando coming up March 7th and 8th. We have an eAutomate. If any of you all are eAutomate users, we're having an eAutomate class March 6th, and it's called Elevate. And what we've got, let me kind of pop that open. It's for all eAutomate users, and it's a way to just discuss how you're doing with your eAutomate. You got questions, so it'll be small users, big users. So if you attend the Elevate event on March 6th, you get registration is free for the event itself, the 7th and 8th. And you can click on this and get a time frame of what's going on March 6th as far as the breakout sessions and people talking and that type of thing. So if you're an eAutomate user, I would recommend you get down there for this Elevate event as well.
If I if you don't mind, Brian, just to
No.
get a little bit more detail on that. The idea of e-automate Elevate came out of the board of directors of the association. About a year ago in a meeting, we started talking about the pain points associated with the use of e-automate. And then we from there, we surveyed all of our leadership and we came up with, we identified as 26 pain points that, people kind of struggle with and maybe they could use some help on. Then we sent all those out to the members and asked them to stack rank those and add any others so that they might have as it relates to e-automate. And from there, we built the agenda and the speakers for this event. So it is very much a walking through, trying to, ease the use of e-automate, show things that maybe you hadn't thought of that other dealers are doing that have, helped them in their businesses. One of the presenters among a couple of 2 or 3 power users who are within dealerships are going to be presenting. There's a woman presenting who's consults dealerships, for a living, basically on the use of e-automate. And then CEO Juice is going to present some sessions that relate to AI and the future of AI with the use of e-automate. So I think we've got some really good stuff, and we've had a lot of great interest. We've got the registrations coming in. So if that's something that's of interest, I encourage you to take a look. You can read through that later. But thank you, Brian. Sorry for the interruption.
Well, no problem.
Yeah.
So let's kind of get back. We're long in time here, so let me just touch on base on a couple big resources. The Dealer Helping Dealer discussion group was born out of the COVID era where nobody was traveling, so we tried to figure out a way to get everybody together. And there's 5 total groups, 6 total groups. There's 3 owners, 2 sales, and 1 service. If
That's
my
exactly
memory,
right. That's exactly right.
serves me right.
Yeah.
And so it's a great opportunity. They're non-competing dealers, a group of about 30 or so non-competing dealers, and you're able to, again, discuss best practices and that type of thing without worrying about any of, competition. And I know there's a couple people on the call here that belong to a couple of these groups, but so it's a great way to network with fellow dealers without traveling. And once you sign up, it is free. And if you're interested in this, you contact Brent right there, brent@bta.org. And there's I'll let Brent talk about this, but there's 3 legs to the Dealer Helping Dealer page. And one of them is the discussion group. We've also got a question and answer that you could send in a question to Brent, and that question is sent out to the dealership as a whole to get an answer. And there's usually one of those types of questions in the monthly magazine, the Office Technology magazine, that comes out every month. And then we've got the Repair Network, and the idea of this is that if you've got an install somewhere outside of your given territory, you can come here and sign up for it. It's very easy to sign up, just your name, your company, with the brands you carry, and you're put here. And if you've got an install out here in the Panhandle of Texas, you click on that and it's UCI, and you find out who to contact and the brands that they carry. So I would encourage you guys to sign this up. This is a fairly new feature to the Dealer Helping Dealers. So the more that we could get signed up here, the better it would be. And then I'll let Brent talk a little bit about the discussion groups.
Yeah, so I'll be brief, but I wanted to kind of get it in your heads how this works because it's so simple. It is a Zoom call that we do. When the folks register to attend, I always ask the question, in part of the registration, what topics or questions would you like the group to address in this call coming up? And that gets the conversation going. There are always other questions that come up. We spend about an hour. Two of the groups meet every other week, believe it or not, and have since the pandemic, since May of 2020. So they're up to well over 100 calls at this point. And but it's kind of like the Pro Dealer Group, Select Dealer Group, in that there's a lot of relationships being formed in these groups. And again, we strive to not have competitors because, you know, people aren't always comfortable talking in front of the competitors about their businesses. But and that's why we have multiple groups, because sometimes somebody's not a fit for one, but they're a fit for the other, fit for another because they don't have any competitors. So we have 2 sales groups, 3 owners groups, 1 service managers group. The service manager group just met this morning. I was in a call with about 18 service managers. Incidentally, I'm just thinking about your questions, Mark, and relates to Select Dealer Group, Pro Dealer Group. There's a fair number of Select Dealer Group, Pro Dealer Group members who are in these discussion groups. So it's just another layer of interacting with other dealers. You know, it's at a in a different way, but it's very convenient because obviously you
Okay.
can do it from your desk. And
Yeah.
people come and go, meaning, you know, I know that if we have 30 people in the group, not all 30 are going to attend any one call, but over time they do, you know, because things come up, and I understand that. And as long as anybody's, you know, available to attend, you know, we have the calls, and they've been very successful, and I've been very pleased with the results. And I've heard dealers talk about how they've helped each other. I had a guy just yesterday, it was another call we did, and he was talking about how much he escalates his contracts each year. And I think he said he had been at 5%, but the group had convinced him to go to 10%. And somebody in the group says, "Well, I do 15%." And so he said, "Oh, maybe I'll be thinking about that." But you know, they listen to each other, and they act
Yeah.
on their advice, and it's really been neat to see. So, Brian, I'll let you keep
Okay.
going.
I've got really 2 more things, but first let me go back to the BTA homepage and draw your attention to our new BTA member app. So make sure you guys just come to the bta.org, and it's right here on the front page, and you can download the BTA app so you get access to the entire website here in your mobile phone. So it's real easy to download. Go ahead and download that, and you'll have access to the BTA member app there. And then the other one I wanted to touch base with briefly was the BTA Legal and Greg Goldberg. Many of you may know his father, Bob Goldberg, who retired last year, and Greg has taken over. Here is Greg's contact information right there. So, excuse me, just go up here to benefits, click on the legal button, and that'll take you to the legal page. And here's where you can find a lot of the legal documents that are already produced that you can just cut and paste. So and you know, customize them to your dealership as well. And it ranges anywhere from employee dress code all the way up to partnership agreements and that type of information. So there's some of the things that are, or documents that are available, IT documents, managed print documents. So check those out as well. Update your current transactional documents as well. And then I think the last thing I'll touch on is, since it's coming up here pretty soon, is the BTA application, or the scholarship program that we have. And it's open for any of your college age, high school, college age students of full-time employees of your dealership. And all applications must be submitted by May 1st. And the applications are sent out to an independent evaluator. So BTA has no dog in this fight. And so it's evaluated by an outside professor at a local college here. And we've given away, you know, almost $1.8 million through the years. And you can download a flyer for your break room that you could put up in your facility to kind of bring attention to it. So there's a flyer that you can go ahead and download there. And then one more thing, and then I'll let Brent kind of talk about it, that got major questions. It's Elizabeth right here. That is the main contact for the scholarship program. And I think that's about it. Brent, you want to?
Well, so Brian always gives me a chance to comment here, because I've commented in the past that it's one of my favorite things to do is write these checks, right, for the students. And he covered it really well, but I can tell you that the school year that we are currently in, 24-25, right, we gave away $33,000 in scholarships to 26 students. And one thing that I have observed through the years is there are sometimes on occasion there are students who get scholarships up to all 4 years if they're going to college for 4 years, that's kind of to say that not everybody who applies gets a scholarship, but many do, and the percentage of those who do is probably maybe higher than some of the other scholarship programs out there, because there's you have to be the son or daughter of a full-time employee of a BTA member dealership. So that's pretty limited if you think about just the universe of people that are out there trying to get through college. And so one of the things that we've decided to do for 25, 26 is we're bumping up the values of the scholarships a little bit. In the past, they've been 1,000, 1,500, we have 2,000, we have 3,000. This year, in the next fiscal year, they'll all be more than 1,000. They're not going to be double that, but the minimum will be 1,500 instead of 1,000. And so it's a kind of a forgotten benefit for many people because it's if they're not thinking about it, they don't know about it, they're not thinking about it, or vice versa, or whatever. But it's kind of the one benefit that I say is of value to anybody in your company, whether if you're not the owner and you're not a senior manager, if you're anybody in the company, you've got a student in college, I mean, here's a member benefit for you. And I recently went through the exercise because I was curious, dealerships that have had multiple winners through the years. And we went back 5 years and we found, quite a few dealerships who had a number of, 2 or 3 or 4 winners through those 5 years. And, talk about the value of membership, right? You're getting the benefit of helping your employees, offset the costs of college. And we all know that's crazy expensive. So thank you, Brian.
Okay. That's pretty much it. Anybody got any questions? Just remember, here's where the headquarters staff is with our contact information. And the best way to kind of look at all the BTA benefits is just touch that top button there, and that opens up. So you've got everything is in here with links to take you to wherever you need to. And appreciate you guys being BTA members, and yell at me if you got a question. All
right. Thank you, Brian. Anybody have any questions at this point? If not, we can reach out to us at any time. Like Brian's mentioned here, our email addresses, you've heard mine a few times along the way. I mean, they're easy. They're just, our first name @bta.org. So Brent@bta.org, Brian@bta.org, etc. And so we're here for you. And as I said, as the call began, we never lose sight of the fact that we work for you. You may not think of it that way, but we think of it that way because you are what make it the association, because as members, you essentially like the owners of the association, and we want to do what we can to help you out. And because we've been here for so many years, we got quite a bit of insight and familiarity with all aspects of the industry, and we're glad to help in any way that we can. So reach out to us. Hope to hear from you all down the road. Maybe see you at a BTA event. See you on a webinar. We've got a webinar coming up tomorrow. I noticed the registration list is pretty healthy. That's tomorrow afternoon. Brian, click on that just for a minute, because I know you've kind of scrolled over it a few times, but this is a webinar that's going to be done by Technology Assurance Group, one of our members in the association. Has to do with 5 managed IT services differentiators to dominate your competition. So if you're into managed IT, if that's part of your services lineup, these guys are really good at sharing their wisdom and insight, and we're appreciative of their association membership. So something to think about if you've got time tomorrow to attend that at 4 p.m. Eastern. So thank you all for your time. We'll see you down the road and appreciate your membership. Bye-bye.
Thank you all.
Thank you.